Alright, what's going on everybody? Got another helpful video for y'all here today. Just got done doing the research, reading all that good stuff, the copying and pasting for the key points. Basically, I mean you already probably saw the title, but full range of motion versus partial range of motion or partial reps for, like, what's the difference between muscle growth? I was in the gym a while back and that just popped in my head randomly. I've heard people say they use partial range of motion, you know, that helps them get big or whatever, and I've always done full range of motion just because I've always thought that'd be the best thing to do. But anyway, I'm gonna get into it. I'm just gonna, if y'all don't know what the full range of motion is, what flexion extension is, I got these couple little definitions right here just for that real quick. So I'm gonna take a second just to say these if y'all don't know, just to help that, and then we'll get into. Basically, I think I cited from 5 different studies and I stopped because basically all of them were saying the same exact thing. And I even did 5 just because some of them were saying a little bit different stuff. They're worded a little bit different, and just to show that it's not just coming from one source. You know, when every source is telling you the same thing, it shows it's that much more true or reliable, and they're all coming. And I think just about all of them had studies as well. I'm gonna link all these articles I'm pulling from in the links. They'll be the first links. Just put like article 1 link, article 2 link. So range of motion means the full movement potential of a joint. Usually it's range of flexion and extension. Flexion is when you shorten the angle of a joint like this, like when you're curling a dumbbell. Extension is when you lengthen the angle of the joint, which would be like this. You know, you're extending, you're lengthening the joint here, like when you're lowering the dumbbell. So a full range of motion repetition is one wherein you move your joint from the furthest point of extension, like say I'm doing flat dumbbell right here, to the furthest point of flexion, and then back. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, and I'll pop this on the screen here. And a partial range of motion will be like in this diagram here, moving between the 50 and 100 degrees in the diagram there. And the full range of motion would obviously be going from 0 to 30, or like right when, you know, tension's barely on the muscle, so say 1%, all the way up to 130 would be a complete flex. All right. Partial reps allow you to add more weight and reps, but at the expense of shortening the range of motion. Full reps allow you to use a longer range of motion, but force you to use lighter weights and or fewer reps. For example, let's say that you can currently bench 225 for 3 sets of 6 reps through a full range of motion every week. So it breaks this down. 225 times 3 sets times 6 reps equals 4,050 pounds. You know, in that workout, your bench total would be 4,050 pounds, complete volume. Let me move this. I don't think the lighting's looking very good right there. There we go, that's better. Okay, so, you know, in that workout, your total is 4,050 pounds. Now let's say you cut that range of motion in half, only bringing the bar about 6 inches above your chest, but add 25 pounds and 2 reps to each set. Now you're benching 250 pounds for 3 sets of 8 reps. 250 times 3 times 8 is 6,000. Now you're benching 6,000 pounds per workout. You just upgraded from coach to first class on the gains train, or so you might think. There's just one problem. You're only moving the weight half as far, so really you're only benching 3,000 pounds per workout. Despite benching 25 pounds more, reducing the range of motion cuts your volume by 25%. Yeah, you're moving, you know, 25% more weight, but you're using half the range of motion. That's why it gets cut in half. So really 3,000 versus 4,050. Many people think that partial range of motion reps lead to more muscle growth than full range of motion reps. The typical reason for this are that partial reps allow you to use heavier weights for more reps, give you better pumps, keep more tension on the muscle. In reality, partial reps actually reduce the amount of total work your muscles have to do and often lead to a decrease in muscle growth. While they do cause larger pumps, that doesn't lead to more muscle growth. Finally, Keeping more attention on muscles might be helpful for some accessory exercises, but in most cases you'll get as good or better results with full range of motion reps. In the final analysis, you aren't missing out by not using partial range of motion reps. If you want to use them though, stick to these 3 rules. Use a combination of full and partial reps. Use partial reps and motion and use partial range of motion reps on accessory exercises only. Make sure you're still getting stronger. And above all else, don't forget to keep adding weight and or reps and keep tracking your workouts. Do that and you'll see results. And first, and that one has a couple cited studies. Article 2, conclusion for hypertrophy. Partial reps do not seem to have, this first article is so legit, like Google popped it up. Like when you go to Google, sometimes you search something, like it actually pops up. You don't have to actually click on a link. It's actually up on Google, and that first article was that one. Conclusion, and that's from Legion Athletics, Mike Matthews. He's very science-based and stuff, and I think he's a trustworthy guy, and like some of the stuff I get my fish oils from him. When I do buy fish oils, I just feel like he just comes off as a, more of an integrity type guy and science-based guy and stuff like that. So, whatever. Anyway, conclusion for the second one, hypertrophy. Partial reps do not seem to have any advantage over full reps to stimulate muscle growth. Full reps stimulate muscle activity over the entire muscle's length. They also stretch the muscle under high tension. Exercise selection and accommodating the resistance curve to your strength curve are generally superior methods of adding variety to bodybuilding training than partial reps. Conclusion for strength. Including partial reps can be beneficial in advanced trainees to strengthen parts of a movement as per the specificity principle. Geared powerlifters in particular can benefit from strengthening their lockout due to the lack of passive assistance they get from knee wraps, squats and deadlift suits, and bench shirts at the end of these exercises. So it's saying they normally use wraps and the suits and stuff, so those help at lockout points and stuff like that. And if you're stuck in a certain movement, like say your bench, and you just want to increase, you need to work on your lockout point, well, you start going partial reps. Like see people put blocks on their chest, come down to there, and you're just, actually building that end part of the motion there. Novices are better off building a good strength base by sticking to full range of motion training because they are not developed enough to require range of motion specific training. Conclusion for power. Partial reps for many exercises allow for greater power production, which can benefit power development. Just as for strength training, these benefits are greater for more advanced trainees. Article number 3. While the research is still limited in this area, it does not seem that working a muscle across its full range of motion is more beneficial to its size and strength than working it across a partial range. Nevertheless, it's not to say one should forget partial work altogether. After all, it can be a great tool in overcoming sticking points in a lift. Like I just talked about, if you're sticking, like you can't quite lock out on certain lifts, you work on that part of it. Or if you're like really weak at the bottom, you build that up, and that help you get past sticking points. However, I do believe range of motion should still be dictated by exercise type, individual lever length, and training outcomes. It should not be dictated by weight, a hungry ego, or some pseudoscience you've read in a fancy book. Article number 4. So here's what we can take home from a practical standpoint. When considering the research as a whole, the evidence is pretty clear that you need to train through a full range of motion to derive maximal increases in muscle hypertrophy. Hence, the basis of your training program should include movements performed through a complete range, making sure to get a good stretch at the bottom position. That said, it can be beneficial to selectively integrate some partial rep movements into your program. Even just a few heavy load sets per week carried out in a muscle's strongest range can provide an added impetus for driving muscle growth. Article number 5, the last one here. Studies including the one cited that show favorable results with partials are trained subjects. In other words, this is for experienced lifters only. Partials for intermediate and advanced trainees can serve as part of a plateau busting strategy when combined with full range of motion training. Partials are not a supplement to traditional training. Partials are a supplement to traditional training, not a substitute. And that was from a lot of the big ones, like this last one, Muscle and Fitness. The other one's from Muscular Development. And then a couple other websites I've never heard of. And then the Legion Athletics, which is a really big one. But that's it for that. So use full range of motion. You're going to get the most benefit from that. If you're super advanced powerlifting and stuff, you're probably already looking up another video on sticking points and stuff like that. So I don't know if, you know what I mean? You kind of know what you're doing if you're that advanced lifting, I would think. But that's the only thing. I mean, it said even intermediate too. So you got a certain sticking point, like I said, on the bench or squat, and you can't quite lock out the top. You'll start working on just the upper end, locking out the top motion. To, you know, try to break a plateau. Like I said, that's if you hit a plateau, if you're stuck at a weight for a while, months maybe, or a month and a half or something, you can't get past that. That's when you start implementing that. I basically never do partial reps at all. I always do full range of motion. When I will do some partial reps are basically like on my last rep or so. Like say lat pull downs I do sometimes, you know, I bring them all the way down. Well, I may come, instead of being able to touch my chest on these last, you know, when the rep, my back's starting to fatigue, I may come 2 inches off. I don't think that's enough for, I don't want to keep stimulating my back, so I don't just call the whole exercise because I can't come down 2 inches. You know, I might come down 2 inches shorter. Next time might be 4 inches shorter. Next time might be to here. And then there, but the whole time, the whole point of me doing that is just squeezing my back as much as I can. And I'm not intentionally doing partial reps. I'm doing the partial reps because my muscle can't actually move the weight anymore. So really only in situations like that would you perceive me as doing a partial rep, but I'm not actually doing a partial rep on purpose, because if I could continue to pull it all the way down with perfect form, the weight, I would. And I do that sometimes on rows as well. Generally on everything else, I don't think I do that on. Or yeah, well, like on most pulling, I do that. You know, if I can't get it all the way back, like a rope face pull, I'll just pull as much as I can and then I'll quit or something. It depends how close I want to go to failure that day, basically. But that's it for the video. Need to be training full range of motion if you're trying to maximize basically muscle gains. And like I said, it says if you want to use, a lot of them kind of cite and say if you want to use partial range of motion, do that on accessory movements, aka isolation movements. But then again, you're pretty much getting the same benefit from just doing full range of motion. So no real reason to do partial reps unless it just feels better to you or something, or you don't get as much joint pain, or you have some kind of injury or something like that. Then you do partial reps, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's it for the video. Stay happy, stay healthy. Go make y'all some gains. I've been making hellum gains on this bulk. Super stoked to keep growing. I just swear, like I keep looking at myself, I'm like, dang, I'm actually getting big. Like I can see the muscle starting to pack back on after, you know, my last cut. Super stoked to get up to 185. I'm only at 165 right now. Anyway, I hope this video helped. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Just liking the video helps us reach so much more people. It helps it rank a lot better in the algorithms. When you comment, it makes it rank a lot better in the algorithms. When you share, that really helps, because wherever you're sharing that at, say if it's on Facebook, well, the shares help in the algorithms as well, but you're also sharing it to other people, and you know, the more views, the better it helps in the algorithms. And subscribe if you like the content. You know, I'm actually been having the most increase in subscribers here recently. I'm up to 222. I'm gaining in a couple days. Like, almost seems like every day I'm gaining at least one subscriber. And like last night or 2 nights, I think it was last night. No, 2 nights ago, I woke up and I gained 3 subscribers. I think I gained 2 yesterday. So I really appreciate all the support, everybody. Like, I really, really appreciate it. I'm glad y'all are liking the videos. One thing I will ask though, when you do subscribe, tell me why you subscribe, because some people subscribe and I'll go check out. I check out everybody's channel that subscribes and try to see what other videos they're liking or channels they're subscribed to kind of get a gist of what kind of videos they're subscribing for. And then maybe I can, you know, try to make videos that you're interested in that help you in this specific niche or whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Go make y'all some gains. Peace out, everybody.